The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Auchi, please continue with the proceedings. You were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, the dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Okay, he looks like Hitler with the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Ayisa Nosa reporting for duty, sir. Myself, a fine employee as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Kurikota at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with the interested parties regarding the curious with which I make my business. I can't understand a word the old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, the sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes sir, standing by ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Oh, is it time to cross-examine them? Whoa. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. From the back? He got shot in the front! What are you... that's like... You're on, sir. I already found the hole in your story. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment? You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim? Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. The wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in, with an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Reinosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Rosa, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who the criminal was. There is? Morinosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. Objection! Oh, it's time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vistas of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict.
Yes!
What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean the defense demands its rights to a cross-examination. Dear me, let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. How did he know? The prosecution objects. It is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Reinosuke. But I don't even know what I should have to do on a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious you have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements? How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. The key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Leonowski. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. Okay. Am I allowed to save here? There's no save! Ah! Oh, wait, there is! Let me save. Please. Okay. Just want to make sure I don't mess this up. Okay, I was adjusting a regulation brief. Oh, yeah, I know what this lie is. Just go to this one. Wait, 100%. Oh.
Yes!
What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Trusting some photographic print in my mustache? Inconsistency, sir! I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. Tis, what nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense, but there's a clear discrepancy here with the surgeon's statement. What? Surgeon Iyesa Nosa? Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain that? What the fuck? There's a baby? What the what was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious Le Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iyosanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. The university cadet there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up from the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed, the Hoei era Koban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit the restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from me. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I offered my Hoei treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table. I was in case mayhap it had fallen there and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. Huh, I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prized coin for himself. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ochi? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain? Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there's only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant Rainosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as clerical glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think? Affirmative. The newest member of the Noso family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name Ido. Huh, it would seem these straps are a sign of Sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido Teen Shun. Your father is about to call the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. What the fuck? Ew. This is not... The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Oh, wait, let me say it first. Okay. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, the young lad in back. The much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personal present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. Ugh. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there's only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that no one else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. I think that Taketsuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick, understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Okay, let's do this. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, the young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman dining all by himself. Before no one other than the black uniform could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. Let's see the pictures. Let's examine. This one's hard. Oh my god, let me just make sure it's no one other than the black. Present this one. Hold up, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. take a look at this one again. Alright. I'm gonna try to present this one. I don't know if this is the one. Not until I've proven that innocent here. Shit. Dr. Wilson dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in. So, the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? Let's not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table, a meal for one. No. The antiques dealer, the surgeon, the waiter who testified before, it's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Why aren't you telling the truth? What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed, but for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely, in other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But if such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. There is nothing I can say to that. What do you think, Reinosuke? That's me right now. What's the matter? I can't find anything. I can't find a clear discrepancy anywhere. I'm done for. I can't win this trial. No. Listen, the first thing to do is calm down. You can't expect witness statements to be full of holes every time. So just take your time and try to tease more information out of them first. What do you mean? You can choose to either press or present against each of the witness statements. If a witness is saying something you're suspicious about, press him on it with LB. With a little luck, you may get more details, which could prove to be crucial. Right, I see. The important point is there's no sense in holding back. If anything even slightly jars with you, press the witnesses on it. Press them hard. Alright, got it. I'll press them like blocks of tofu. The professor wasn't alone in the restaurant, I'm sure of it. And one way or another, this cross-examination is going to prove him right. It's time to press them for all they're worth. My fate depends on it.